Did you know that nearly 75% of women live paycheck to paycheck this year? 75%. As a single mom, I know that those stats are overwhelming, but we can break this cycle by creating a budget. I've been budgeting for the last 15 years. I bought my first home at 19 and my second home was a newly built property. Through faith and financial planning, I was able to be very successful. So if that's something that interests you, then let's get into it. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my Welcome to Gracefully Simplified. Over here, we're making life simple, gracefully. Hi, my name's Janine, and on this channel, I help single moms simplify their finances, get organized, and take control of their money. If you're ready to create a budget that works for you, let's get into it. Step 1, pause and give yourself grace for our finances. Creating a budget sometimes can be very overwhelming. It can be new to a lot of people. So budget is not about being perfect, but it's about being intentional. We want to make mistakes. Sometimes you may not track all your expenses. Sometimes you may forget to write things down. This is not a marathon. It's going to take time to learn new habits. Know that you're going to mess up a couple times, but it will get better. And more that you do it, the better you'll get. Let's move forward with faith. Step 2, the 3 biggest mistakes that most beginners make. The first one, not tracking your expenses. We have to track our expenses. I know. It can be overwhelming. You busy, you trying to juggle everything, job, kids, life. I get it. But there are simple ways to track your expenses through certain budgeting apps, maybe through writing things down. But we can't create a budget without tracking our expenses. We just can't. So you got to figure out what works for you. Are you more a digital person or maybe you're a written? Because we can't control your budget. We can't create a budget for you if we don't really know where your money is going. Mistake number 2, making an unrealistic budget. Now, this is very, very, very important. We have to make a realistic budget for us. So prime example for me, I am a single mom of 3 teenage boys. So my grocery budget, it would be unrealistic for me to have a grocery budget of $500. Honestly, it just does not work for me. My kids eat me out of house and home. I don't know about you guys, but mine eat me out of a house and home. So it would be unrealistic for me to have a $500 grocery budget. My budget for these kids is probably $900 a month. And I'm really trying to work on that because to me, I feel like that's too much. But again, for a family of 4. Mistake number 3 that most people make is forgetting irregular expenses. Ooh, this right here, I used to do all the time. Like I know for a single mom, your budget is really tight. You don't really have any extra in the month, but it's like those unexpected expenses will take you out of here. And I know it used to take me out of here. So one of the key solutions to helping with that is saving a little bit. Even if it's $10, get into the habit of saving something because guess what? Those car maintenance are going to continue to happen. Birthdays, celebrations, all those things. And if it's not in your budget, you don't want to be dipping into credit cards to fund those things. So if you could save a little bit over time, it will add up. Trust me, it will. Okay, step number 3, how to create a budget that actually works. First thing we're going to do is list our income. All the income that you get, side hustles, jobs, per diem jobs, child support if that's regular. All of the income that comes in each month, you need to write it down. You may want to write it down on paper. I have like a simple budget tracker that you can write it down with. If you're interested, the link will be in my bio, or you could just have a plain piece of paper to just write down your income. You need to write down your income because you need to know how much is coming in. Second, write down all your fixed expenses. The fixed expenses are expenses like rent, mortgage, car notes, loans, gas, electric. These are all the bills that do not change per month. They're fixed. They're set in stone. They really don't change. Your mortgage doesn't change. Car note, all of those things, they really don't change. So that's why they're called fixed expenses. We want to write those down. 3, the variable expenses. These expenses can change and you can tweak it a little bit. So the variable expenses may be gas for your car. It may be groceries. It may be fund money. All of these type of categories, those can be adjusted because sometimes, I know for me, for those single moms out there, sometimes I would have to peel back my little fund money to to be able to get the most important things paid, like having enough groceries in my house, maybe not going out all the time, so I have to lower the gas budget. Sometimes you have to make some sacrifice so that most important variable expenses are getting paid. And step 4, a zero-based budget. So you're like, what is a zero-based budget? I hear this all the time. Some people may know. So a zero-based budget is basically listing your income, listing your fixed expenses, listing your variable expenses, and those have to equal up to 0, but it cannot be more than your income. So for prime example, if your income is $3,000 a month, your fixed expenses is $2,000 a month, and your variable expenses is $1,000 a month, that equals 0. The main focus is that we want to get it to 0 because we assigned every dollar a job, and that's basically what a zero-based budget is. It's not to say that you have 0, like you don't have any money in your accounts. You make $4,000 a month, your fixed expenses is $3,000, your variable expenses is $500, and you have $500 left over. Then you may put that into some sinking funds. So sinking funds may be Christmas, it may be birthdays, it may be things that car maintenance. You could put that $500 to the sinking funds, and then it'll still add up to 0 because we want to assign every dollar a job so it can be working for us. And step 5 is to track weekly expenses and then adjust. So you want to get into a routine of tracking your expenses. There's so many apps out there that help you track your expenses. I think in my next video, I'll show about some apps that I use that really works well to track my expenses, to make it easy for you. And then sometimes you have to adjust weekly. Your budget is not like a set in stone. I'm gonna do it one time and that's it. Every month you need to be writing out your budget. You need to be tracking your expenses weekly, daily, because things change. Sometimes you forget that this bill is due. Sometimes you forget other things. So you have to track it, but then you have to also adjust. And then also give yourself grace. You may forget, oh, you know what? I forgot to pay that bill. Or, oh, you know what? I forgot to, that's coming up. Or, you know what? Their birthday's coming up. I got to get a gift. It's okay. Sometimes you may forget things and that's okay. So you got to give yourself grace in that area. Again, this is new to you. So anything new is going to take time. You have to build a habit. So if you stay to the end of this video, thank you so much. So what's your biggest budgeting struggle? I want you to drop it in the comments. I know for me, my biggest budgeting struggle is groceries. I try to stay within my budget of groceries, and sometimes it just does not happen. So that's one of my biggest struggles in reference to my budget. And if you need help with tracking your expenses, then I have an expense tracker that I made. The link will be in my bio. Also, I have a freebie which just simplifies how to start to budget. The link will be in my bio. If you learned something in this video, can you like and subscribe? I'll be posting new budgeting tips weekly. I'll see you in the next video. Also, please remember, budget with faith and prosper with grace.